Here we are.
Crumping.
Yay, a drone none of us will ever buy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into DroneNation for January 9th, 2023. We're kind of calling this the CES wrap-up show here. We got to mute that other feed.
Yeah, you better get that mute.
Somebody's got a feed going.
Not me, I don't think. Is it me?
No, it was me. It's me. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Anyhow, that was the promotional video for the new Autel Max drone that Bob Dempsey actually got his hands on a couple of days ago at CES. So Bob's going to give us the the skinny on the new Autel drone, and he's got a little CES kind of tour with photos and stuff. So he's got a nice presentation coming up for you folks in a couple minutes tonight. But tonight's also a big night. It's the college national championship game here. And DeMarco Moore's been working hard all weekend formulating his winner tonight. We have the Texan Christian Horned Frogs with a record of 13-1 versus the Georgia Bulldogs with a record of 14-0. Now, University of Georgia is giving 13.5 points in this game, so they're kind of a strong favorite here. But we know how DeMarco loves a good upset. DeMarco, take it away.
Well, considering that the last time I looked, the score was 24-7 Bulldogs. Yes. What's the score now? 31-7. My kids are watching it though.
Oh, no.
So I was picking Georgia from the start. Go ahead, Bulldogs. Come on. So
solid pick.
Yeah.
Solid pick.
But next year's game will have the Alabama Crimson Tide versus my Florida State Seminoles. So
well, that's a serious prediction.
Saying that right now. Yeah.
Call me Deacon Blues.
Yeah.
I'm looking for my wallet. I'll take some of that action.
Bob was the only one that got my comment.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Oh yeah.
I'll be doing a show from the game next year.
Bob and I remember Steely Dan from the 70s.
Oh yeah, Ron got it too. Good.
Big Steely Dan fan. But anyhow, we got a lot to get through here. So let's go around the panel real fast, catch up with everybody, and then we're going to get right into the DroneNation deal of the day. And I got a deal so hot that it's not even on the agenda here. But Marcus, what have you been up to?
It's been raining and wet here. I did publish a video on the Mini 2 update, which is very popular. A lot of people are watching it, which tells me how many people are still in the market for that kind of a drone and how popular that drone still is. Makes me wonder, how much life there is in it. I mean, they're still pushing out firmware updates, so maybe they'll keep that one in the lineup for a while. And for a lot of folks, it's really all they need. So if we ever get any decent weather, I'm going to get out and fly the. I charged up my Paradenofi. I haven't flown that thing in freaking 6 months or more, so it's about time to get that guy out and take it for a flight.
This is the Antique Roadshow of drones here.
Pardon me, Ron?
This is the Antique Roadshow of drones tonight.
Well, it is.
Did you have to blow dust off it?
The thing that's kind of that was about it. But the thing that's kind of remarkable is I fired it up and it had firmware updates available and stuff.
Oh.
So Parrot is still supporting the product. So anyway,
good. Thanks for the update. Now, Bob, welcome back. You've been in the show for a little while here, but we were lucky to be able to get you on tonight with all this.
Oh, thank you.
From CES. But how you been? I know you had a busy holiday season with your kind of part-time job, but are things slowing down for you now?
Oh yeah, we're kind of getting into the normal ring here. I have been, unfortunately or fortunately, busy with a lot of real work. I'm still running a graphic design agency, and I tried to retire 3 years ago, and I keep getting people giving me work. So it's a problem, but it's a good problem, But I did get to go. I got to go to a Golden Knights game this past weekend here. We got to see a lot. Got to do a lot of things here, so it's a lot of fun. The show was smaller than it's been in 3 years ago or 2 years ago or whatever it was before COVID. It was still than that, and I got around most of it within a whole day. I spent an entire day there, and so it was a lot of fun, a lot of really interesting things, and I got some pictures to show everybody. So you let me know when the right time is, and we'll run some of that. And then
folks, don't go anywhere tonight. Bob's going to have this show coming up in a few minutes.
I got a question for Bob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you see Dobo when you were at the Knights game?
No, was he there?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. We were. I hate to tell you what happened. We lost. I don't know if anybody knows that, but we got gifted a VIP package. So I was in the suites, gourmet buffet ahead of time.
Chicken
and then
wings?
Huh?
Any chicken wings up there? Or?
No steaks, filet mignons, bouillabaisse, seafood.
Hey, so Bob, one of the things that I know you understand, and I know this from having all my relatives in Las Vegas, but a lot of people don't understand it. Las Vegas culture is a little bit different in that it's all about the juice that you have, right? No, it's the truth. It's not, it's the truth. And, so clearly you got some juice and you were able to get in that suite. That's the way Vegas is. That's just part of the deal.
Now, then we had 2 sections away from the goal, 10th row. It was the perfect seats. Unfortunately we lost, but anyway, yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I didn't see Drobo there. That's not at all. Huh.
Well, maybe next time. Well, Thanks for the update, Bob. We'll move on to Lon here. Lon also had a big weekend in Vegas.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let's hear it.
Lon, catch us up on what you've been up to. It's been a while since you've been to the show. I know you're in the chats all the time.
Yeah, we went to Vegas. I didn't get into CES, but we saw the Knights game and they got smoked. We lost doesn't cut it.
No.
Sloppy.
No. They scored the 1 goal 2 minutes before the final horn,
The Kings had the towel boy out there. They had the masseuse.
Yeah.
They had the manager's grandson out there on the dice. They picked some guy up off the street and had him out there. Dude, they got smoked. It was rough.
Hey, I got
to save their lives.
I got a question for you though, Lon. Did you have any fun with that Shelby?
No, Dobo drove it the whole time. And
he did.
He's not, he's a very, for better or worse, he's a pretty conservative driver.
Well, yeah. And so the point of it is you got this Shelby and you couldn't really drive it like it's intended, right?
Yeah. But that's
Yeah.
okay. You know,
Yeah,
not
but
a
it's a
single
nice car.
burnout was had. Not
Yeah.
a single burnout was had. They
Oh.
would have gotten it back on the rims if I would have.
You know they're
back on the
made.
rims if I would have been me, dude.
The Shelby Mustangs are made in Las Vegas.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
Shelby America, they built their
Yes.
own version of a Shelby automobile.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made by convicts, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
hey, just an
That
update.
explains the shib in the back
DeMarco, it looks like Georgia scored another touchdown.
I see it. Yeah, I see it here in front of me. Yeah, 38-7.
Yeah.
38-7. Oof.
So DeMarco, what have you been up to? I know last time we did this show, you had palm trees behind you.
Palm trees and guys in thongs behind me. Marcus, yeah, you know, some of your buddies back there.
Well,
No,
they weren't on
we
the show. They weren't on the show. Hopefully,
No. We got back from Mexico Friday. We actually flew into Dallas and then had to drive 5 hours back to Arkansas. So that was
you should have
tired.
swung
My
by
wife was like, "Oh,
CES. You should have swung by CES for the show.
oh yeah." With
Las
three
Vegas. That's
Another
a
couple
long way
the
to
other
go.
direction.
miles.
Yeah.
No problem.
No.
I
We
just drive through the
just
desert.
back from the trip, and then like the next day, Saturday, like all the practices started. So no flying for me. The weather's been decent here, in the 40s and 50s. I think it's supposed to be in the high 60s tomorrow. So I might go out tomorrow and fly. So yeah, the wife's
Now,
gone for the week again, though. So I have to step away
You
for a
didn't
little
fly
bit.
in
And put the
Mexico,
kids to sleep.
right? You were worried about the federales.
Yeah, it was weird because like you couldn't fly from their property, and then like that resort was all surrounded by other resorts. So I mean, so if I went from one beach to the next, I'd be on somebody else's resort though.
Right.
So
Hmm.
I mean, so I just sat on the beach and looked at women all day, and um, I watched my kids too. But
Oh, there you go. I
There
was
you go.
afraid of
Kinda.
it.
no.
You put it in work. Yeah. Made sure
I
they
had my
didn't.
glasses on. Hey, I was sitting there like this.
You didn't have those mirror glasses on, so nobody can see your eyes, right?
Oh yeah. That's what I said. I
Yeah.
was sitting there still, but I was looking.
Using your peripheral vision at times.
Yeah. My wife was right next to me. My wife and my mother-in-law though, so I couldn't. I
Oh, so
couldn't
you had
miss
to be in
one.
the best behavior.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Oof.
What about
Okay,
you,
well,
Ron? You been flying?
Well, listen. Let's get off the scantily clad women for a second and get back to the drones.
Ron,
Okay.
you haven't updated us on what you've been doing.
Yes.
Oh, I haven't done anything.
Okay.
Except watch a bunch of football on the TV set and read CES news. So, let's get into the DroneNation deal of the day first. Now, this isn't really a deal. It's more of a discovery by our friend Richard. I don't see him in the chat tonight, but Richard just sent this to me today. He found a third-party battery on Amazon.com for the Mini 2. Now, it wasn't cheap. It was over $100, and it had no reviews or anything yet, so I don't think anybody's bought it yet. But he was excited because it kind of shows maybe the Mini 2 will even have life after DJI stops supporting it and making batteries for it if it's third-party people out there. And it did claim to be a high-capacity battery, so I don't know if it would add any extra battery life to the Mini 2.
$100 though? Jeez, when you can buy it.
Yeah,
for
that's higher
50.
than DJI.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm not saying this is good. I'm just saying it is a third-party battery, and they still could be making this where DJI is not making their batteries.
Huh.
Anyhow, I put the link in the thing. Go check it out. I'm not saying the battery's good. You should buy it. I don't know anything about it except there's a third-party battery available, and it may be higher capacity. But I even got a late breaking stuff. The DroneNation deal today. This came from Drone DJ just a couple hours ago. You can now get the Mini 3, not the Pro, the new Mini 3, which is regularly $559. You could buy the refurb on the eBay Superstore for only $499, and that's the complete kit: the drone, the battery, and the controller. So you can now pick that. So that's about $60 less.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a savings already if if you really crunched on the price.
So they already have refurb Mini 3s out.
Well, that's on the I'm just quoting the article here. I did not go and look at
I'll be
this. I went
darned.
online.
The standard Mini 3 or the Pro?
The Mini 3, not the Pro.
Just the Mini 3.
Plain Jane Mini 3 without obstacle avoidance. So anyhow, go check it out. I didn't get time to put the link in. I'll put the link in post show or whatever, or just go to DroneNation Facebook group to read the Drone DJ article. The links in there.
So Ron, I want to make one point. So you're talking about this aftermarket battery for,
and I don't, and what I told you is all I know about it.
Oh, I understand.
Yeah.
But a couple of things that I have never been able to figure out is why people buy aftermarket batteries to put in their DJI drone, even if you're saving $10 or something like that. Hey, you've got this very expensive flying camera that you're trusting something to. And then secondly, I know a lot of people like these like master air screw and aftermarket props, and they've had problems with them, right?
Yeah.
What is wrong with the props that DJI supplies for their drones that people feel like they have to? I mean, maybe is it color? They want to put a different color on there. I don't know.
Yeah. I've owned a couple of those, Marcus. Those master props, and like when they first came out, I think it was maybe you'll know the Air 2, and there was an issue with
the original Airs, the first ones I remember.
But like, I actually owned it for that one, the Air.
They reduced the noise. It sounded like bees or whatever.
They work fine, Marcus. I've never had a problem with them. I've owned a couple of them. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the matter with the DJI props then? That's the part I don't get.
Those were just quieter, and they were. I mean, not by much.
And they over-revved the motors, right? You had to go in and adjust the ESCs because they over-revved the motors.
Original Air you did, which I never actually did. I never actually did that though. But like, they told you to do that. But like on the Air 2, I owned them, and like I never had to do that though. I think I had red and like a glossy black. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, I used to buy them for color. I'll get back to the batteries in a second. I don't know why anybody would buy a third-party battery now, but say the Mavic 3, Mavic 4 series now, when you cannot buy batteries from the DJI anymore, it's good to know that there's somebody who's making batteries when the manufacturer stops supporting batteries. Look at the what's the first Autel drone?
The X-Star.
They stopped making the batteries for when it was still kind of a newer type of drone. People are still flying it. So it's good to know that somebody will support the Mini 2 batteries once DJI cuts off any further production of the batteries.
Yeah, that's true. Just to defend the DJI defender over here, but DJI is pretty good about keeping batteries in stock for drones far beyond their shelf life.
Yeah, right. But aren't I correct that
you get batteries for the Phantom 3
a couple years ago? Right. It was tough to get batteries for like the Phantom 4s, right?
Maybe the Phantom 3. I'm pretty sure you still get them for the Phantom 4.
You couldn't, if you could find them, they were more expensive than the list price, and maybe I've got that mixed up or whatever. But
the Inspire was a problem, but the Inspire 1 is a 7 or 8 year old drone at this point, isn't it?
Yeah,
something like that. So I know there was some complaints about the Inspire 1.
Yeah. So anyhow, just wanted to bring it up. Richard threw it out there. If somebody may be interested, go over and take a look at the links in there. I'm not saying to buy the battery or the battery's any good or anything about it, except it's there. So, okay, let's move on to the new. We played the promo at the beginning of the show. The new Autel released the new Autel EVO Max 4T Enterprise drone at CES, and some of the key features are. And I'll just run down the features, and if anybody has a comment, make a comment, and then we'll move on to the next feature. No blind spots.
Yeah, I got a Mavic 3 that'll do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No side sensors.
Here's an interesting one. The second one, anti-jam. Now, Bob, you actually were there. Does that mean that those people had the officials had those jamming guns to drop drones out of the air? Does that mean this drone will not get dropped out of the air by those?
I didn't ask that particular question, but that's the way I'm understanding that is from their promos is that they are circumventing any kind of Wi-Fi interference, and they're running on 4 Wi-Fi channels at the same time.
Wow.
So
And
that
they also mentioned anti-interference, which I guess goes in hand with the anti-jam.
probably yes.
That non-GPS dependent and that mesh thing are very interesting as well.
Yes.
So think drone swarms.
Yes.
Now, is this anti-jam sort of like, is this like a first in this type of drone?
I don't know.
Got no clue.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would
I
say
don't remember
yes.
any other enterprise drone advertising this, so I'm sure the military has anti-jam drones, but
Right.
Skydio is anti-jam technically.
really,
Skydio will fly off its sensors, its visual sensors.
That's
it doesn't
right.
need GPS to fly
Right.
at all.
right.
So technically, a Skydio is anti-jam.
Interesting, yeah.
Technically, the Skydio will find its way back using visual instead of GPS.
Can be fully autonomous.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Okay, it also advertises a 15-second takeoff time. So I mean, I guess that means it gets the satellites in quickly, and
Yeah.
that's
It's
pretty
with
good.
their big smart controller
did you
firing up and
did you get
firing
the
up
hold
the
controller,
drone.
Bob?
Pardon?
Did you get to hold that smart controller?
I did. Yeah, I held the smart controller. Yeah, huge, much bigger than the any of the DJI controllers.
So it would probably require like a neck strap to comfortably.
I would, for me, I use a neck strap on the RCN1, so I yes.
Yeah. It advertises 8K video with 10x optical. Now I know I've seen some promos that advertise that said 160 digital zoom on this thing.
Yeah, 160 digital zoom. He told me from 1.5 miles away they can read a license plate.
Now, how does that compare with the enterprise drone that Billy had that he zoomed away into the city? How much digital was on that one? Anybody remember?
You mean the M30T?
Yeah, the
We're
one
talking
Billy,
about the Mavic 3.
the enterprise one that Billy had.
He's had all three of them. He's had the Mavic 3 Enterprise.
The first enterprise one he had, he
His Matrice 300 too.
The top of his building all the way someplace in the city and saw something close.
Yeah, that was the Matrice 300 then probably, but he has the Matrice 300, the M30T, and the Mavic 3 Enterprise. So
what do we think the digital zoom on those is?
the Mavic 3 Enterprise, I believe, is 56 times.
Okay,
It's double what the Mavic 3 is.
right.
So
right.
I believe it's 56. Then the M3T, depending on which payload you have, I believe it's also either 56 or 128. And then the M300, depending on payload again, they have like 4 different cameras for that drone.
Yeah.
But I believe it goes close to that. But I do think, I'll be honest with you, I think Autel's got them beat on in the digital zoom, and props to them. I mean, quite frankly, we were supposed to have dinner with Max. It was really funny because I wanted to tease him so bad about the drone being named after the owner's son. You know what I mean? I was going to dog him, and I didn't get a chance to. But yeah. So they've definitely, if they can keep it together, they've got all the pieces in place. Yeah. Now, can they get it to work? No offense. What I mean? Can they get all the features to work?
Right.
Yeah, will the software side be as good as the hardware side?
Well, Ron, that's the first thing I thought of too. I thought, well, this sounds good. These specs and all this hardware, it sounds really good. But my experience with Autel products is not all of it works all the time. And even if they say that it has a feature, maybe not.
Yeah. Now, Marcus, behave yourself, or they'll call us DJI fanboys again.
Well, I'm just telling you my experience. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah.
That's
I'm just joking. We get called fanboys around here once in a while.
Yeah.
No, the package is awesome. I saw the smart controller and the smart controller SE, and that smart controller is ridiculous. What I mean?
No,
it's
like you said, the things that they thought of, those features that they're talking about, where it can be GPS independent, it can mesh, so it can talk to other drones, and so you can have multiple drones flying a mission or whatever. That's all great stuff. Yeah,
if it works.
Yeah,
No.
I got a couple more things we're going to get to. I think one of the biggest features it has it's IP43 weather ratings. That means it could fly in
Right.
snow and rain, so that's good. But how about this? Hot swappable batteries. Now we've seen drones with hot swappable batteries before, but they always had 2 batteries in. So you swap the one with still the battery. This only has 1 battery. You can still hot swap it. Now you have to do it in like 15 seconds.
Yeah, 15 seconds. But what a cool idea! I think that was really smart of them. Yeah.
I can't wait until that fills down to a consumer drone level in a couple of years, right?
Yeah.
Right. It just takes a little, for lack of a better term, it's a little battery to keep the
keep
computer
all the
warm.
settings set. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
because you're not spinning props when you're changing batteries. So they only need a trickle of power.
That's really it seems to me like a really good feature.
A CR2032. What's the little?
A little watch battery.
Those are in AirTag batteries.
AirTag, and everything else.
Hey, did they give a date? Did they give a date at all, or
Q1?
Yeah.
So
First
before
quarter.
March.
And we didn't get pricing yet on it, but
we did.
A DroneNation source from Hawaii.
We did.
Speculates between 7 and 9.
No, they told me 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They told me $9,000.
Yeah.
Well, 7 to 9 the high end. Good.
Yeah, that's what they Jay just said 9,000.
Yeah.
Which is a
It's on
steal,
their
really.
website.
That's a great. If you're like a small town police force, or
fire
a
department,
volunteer fire department, or something. Hey, that's huge. That's
that's gonna be a big asset.
Yeah.
So
Too bad half the departments won't be able to buy them because they're not blue listed.
Hey, so
don't get me started on that.
Well, I don't even understand what that is. What do they mean when they say blue listed?
They got to make the blue list, and one of the main items is it's got to be made in America.
All the parts or something, or the parts or the whole thing? It's the parts, right?
A very large percentage of the parts.
Yeah,
and pretty much there's like a very small list, and they're all hyper expensive. Like the Skydio X2 and the there's a few.
So Juan, does that preclude a small police department from buying it then?
Preclude? No, but it's just a cost. It's a cost situation.
Yeah, and it would be a state-to-state thing too, right? Like I know Florida.
Florida is illegal, and they're trying to make it illegal in New Hampshire. There's another state they're Skydio's working on right now to get it to be illegal.
And many police
departments blue listed, huh?
Many police departments work on grants, federal grants. And they can't get a federal grant.
Oh, yeah, if they use the Chinese drone,
Yes.
Right.
Good point, Bob. Good point.
Well, they can't even use their own money. Even if we all got together, let's say we live in Boise, Idaho or something, and we all just got together and wanted to buy them a drone.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be allowed to use it.
Wow.
It's sad. It really is sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad because this technology can be life-saving.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
If it works.
Yeah.
And I hate, I wonder about that. That's all. I mean, they couldn't get the little nano to work. So this seems a lot.
They told me they've been working on this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Years.
Well, hopefully they'll get it all working though, because like you can't. I mean, it's different to have a nano not working than a life-saving drone.
And Marcus, is it a possibility? Is it a possibility they put the best engineers over in the enterprise department working this drone, and they put the young engineers on the nano?
Well, I can tell you, my friend Tanya that just bought a nano here in Idaho, and she took it out on her first flight, and it's nothing but jello.
Very jello.
I don't know.
Well, it is only $565 now. So
that's true. That's
you
true.
Take that into account.
That's true.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Let's finish up real quick on the specs here. It has navigation in GPS denied environments. What does that mean? Navigation in GPS denied environments.
So this is what you just heard Bob and Lon talk about. That's got that 360. It's using its optical sensors to.
And radar.
That's right. I forgot about the radar. Yeah, the radar.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Laser.
that means
I'll be back, guys. I had to put my crew to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Go, Daddy.
Yeah.
And okay, 4 miles transmission range, 42 minutes max flight time, and it has a 720 obstacle avoidance. So we're used to 360 obstacle avoidance. This has 720 obstacle avoidance.
I don't even know what. So they're talking about up, down, and I don't know what they mean.
Well, up, down, side by side, 2 times around.
Yeah. So if you talk about 360 on a single plane, so maybe they are doubling that because they're saying that up and down too. However, like I said, my Mavic 3 will do that right now. So
yeah. But it doesn't have side sensors.
That's what was interesting. Is that
I had it in my hand and I asked. And no, there's not side sensors.
So you know the way they go ahead, Lon. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
They did something truly revolutionary. They used a fisheye lens on their sensors. Dun, dun, dun. Like no one's ever done it before. I mean, when he was talking about it, I'm like, Ken, really? Ken Booth. John McBride was talking about it. I'm like,
like Skydio does. Those Skydio cameras are.
Hey, it's always good to steal the best ideas, though.
No, nothing
DJI
wrong
too.
with it.
Yeah.
So just like your Insta360 camera, it knits it together and it gets a 360-degree view.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's good for them. That's why it took them so long to develop it, though. That kind of technology that's not easy, man. That the computer program for that is insane. If you've ever watched Skydio's videos, Kendall will walk you through it, and it's stupid amount of code flying through that processor to do all that work, to interpret all that information and make it into a cohesive map that the drone flies through. It's insane amount of it's like a trickle versus a river.
It's super
You know what I
computing.
mean?
It's super
computing. Yep.
So anyhow, we talked about the pricing. We heard it's 9, and we don't know quite a date yet on this. But we kind of going over all the specs now. Bob, you actually held it in your hand. You actually got to interview the president, CEO. I don't know exactly what Max's title is over at.
I don't know what it is.
Autel, but you got to spend some time with him personally and hold the drone. Do you have any observations that we didn't cover here from your in-person meeting?
Well, it's really heavy. I didn't get a gram weight or anything, but I mean, it's a hefty piece of equipment when you hold
mini drone.
No, it's definitely not. I just had the Mini 3 in my hand, the day before. So, but it's and it's not much bigger than a Mavic 3. I mean, it kind of, you kind of have a similar size. It's a little bit bigger, but it's not a lot bigger.
That's an advantage, right, Bob? I would say
I think so. Yeah. Kind of thing.
It kind of looks more like a DJI drone than previous Autel drones.
Yeah. It does. It's very square, long, tall body. That's because of this giant battery that they're putting down the middle of it. It's got a really that battery is probably half the weight, more than probably half the weight, and but it is a very impressive looking drone, and that giant head, that giant gimbal on it, it's just, it's almost like, feels a little crazy how big that is.
Yeah, you got to give them props for that too, because it getting that gimbal to be smooth and operate, because just think about the amount of wind pushing against that big, that's something. It's got to be a pretty strong gimbal.
And it's 2 screws on the bottom, and you can change out the gimbal.
Really?
And they said they've released an SDK to third parties to build gimbals for it.
Wow.
So so you can get some specialized, if you only needed a thermal, you'd probably get a thermal. If you wanted a better camera, you could probably get a better camera.
They promised different camera options on the EVO 2 Pro that never happened, though, I believe.
Well,
yeah. Bob, X-ray. You remember in the back of the comic books when we were kids, those X-ray specs?
Yes.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if
You
they
got
could
to
put,
get those.
yeah, I wonder if they could put those on there.
See-through walls.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. See-through
Walls,
clothes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Walls, yeah,
Yeah.
walls.
Walls. The walls.
Yes.
So, I
in the
mean-
comic books. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this drone getting out in some reviewers' hands and seeing it, in the field and real world testing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'm going to get to review one, but
Well, you never know, Max. Max may have your name scribbled down someplace.
You know, honestly, as a I'm really consumer drones are what I'm interested in. It's not something. I mean, I can look at it and I can appreciate those specifications, but
yeah, no, it's not made for a consumer, somebody having fun on the weekends.
right.
You know, this
When
is
I see a drone like that, I just look at it and like the specs and think, how many years before this stuff filters down to the consumer drones?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So
Exactly. You
Yeah.
know, yeah.
No, the
very
X-ray
good.
would actually be worthwhile, technically, like some kind of sonar or something, so they could see in the building if the bad guy's holding hostages or something like that.
yeah,
Well, that's
That
kind of what
actually,
thermal-
yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. to be
Isn't
honest
that
with you.
kind of what thermal does, though, Lon? I mean, in other words, you can see. I guess it would depend on the thickness of the wall, but you could kind
Right.
of see an outline of a person behind a window or something.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. I
and-
don't say
and-
behind
and-
the wall. I would say no.
Yeah,
And well, to what Lon's talking about, you guys mentioned earlier, it doesn't need GPS. It has, the radar and everything. So you can even fly down the back alley of that coffee shop, even where you were out of GPS, and the drone could still keep flying.
right,
Right.
So that's a big advantage.
right.
Mhm.
Huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Well, I think the other thing that you're going to see, in fact, I've had these discussions with our local PD, is the police are way more interested now in drones that they can go into hostile situations with.
Yeah.
Go into a house or something like that and look around and before a person actually has to go in there and put themselves in harm's way.
Yeah.
They'd rather lose $1,000, $2,000 drone than a person,
Right,
kind of thing
right,
going in
right.
there.
Right.
If they're gonna,
Yeah,
and
quadcopters and tech
awareness
is saying
what's in there.
Avata, and I think that's true. I think you're onto something. I'll bet you we see police departments using. I'll bet you they do. A commercial version of that would be perfect for a lot of police departments.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, would you like to get your presentation ready now? Your
Well,
CS
I could. I mean, I don't know if I need to show everybody what I already did. You've everybody seen the video already?
No, we don't need that part of the video.
Well, not necessarily the interview, but you said you have pictures of some of the booths.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let me show you.
Folks, Bob did a great interview with Max. It's it's under 10 minutes, and Bob will throw the link in here. You
Sure.
can go to his channel and watch that interview in full. I really don't want to play a 10-minute interview here because I know we'll
No.
are interested in Autel drones, but go over to Bob's channel. I'd rather have Bob get the views on his channel than I.
Hey Bob,
Thank you.
I'll go out to your channel. I'll put that in the chat.
Oh, okay. It's
No,
Yeah.
I'll get it.
DRN4 is what it ends up with.
Yep. I'll find it.
So this is augmented reality glasses that I just briefly got to look at this. I mean, you see 100% clear right straight through it, and each glasses have a digital readout that you can read. So the ability of seeing what it is, and it has a camera on it, and you can record the camera. And this is from TCL, the TV company that has been making all these low-priced Roku TVs, kind of thing. TCL, and this is their stab into this augmented reality world here. So it was pretty interesting to see. This is a Samsung wireless TV.
Wow.
There is no wires touching the TV set itself. Everything's in that little box that sits in front of it, or sits, you can set that anywhere you want.
Holy cord cutter, Bob.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there is absolutely no wires. They encourage you to walk around it and everything else. No, I don't understand how they're powering
batteries.
No, I don't know if that would work for good. I don't
know.
No.
There's not even power plugged into the wall.
No, I
No.
watched something about that. There are batteries in it that you have to charge daily, but I didn't see how many hours that it works for. Yes.
Well, this is the BMW. And if you see the ribs on there, if you can see the little ribs in that picture there,
Yep.
Each one of those slices is a panel that can be any color you want it to be. So now the entire car, same car, say this was all from a video that I swiped some stills from here, but that's the same car there, and there it is. You can see some of the panels are a different color, so you can literally change the color of the car whenever you wanted to.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. Even the wheels,
electrochromic.
Yeah, if you look at the wheels, I mean, even the wheels of the car can change. And here's another shot of the same car, basically, showing you different shades of purple that it could do,
Boy, I just think of all the money I waste every year having cars painted different colors.
Yeah. You never get that one painted. And just for, I know we have a few gamers out there, but this is like a monster curved, 52 inches wide curved monster screen here. Just incredible specifications and stuff like that. Just incredible to see that giant. Now this is the Sony Honda car. This is the front bumper of
it's telling us it's charging right now, 82%. That's fascinating.
Yes. You can say, "What's my charge?" to the car, and the car will come back and tell you what the current charge is. You can, if you have a parking permit for this spot, it will display it on the bumper of the car as you go in. You can put sports scores on the bumper of the car.
There you go, DeMarco.
So you're sitting outside, you can see the sports scores of whatever you want. You can ask it, "What's the weather like right now?" And this was true. This was on, I think probably on Saturday.
You talked to the outside of the car, Bob.
Huh?
You talked to the outside of the car.
Yes.
Wow.
You talk to and then you say, "Open the door," and there's no handles on the car. There's absolutely no handle on the car door. It opens the car door by itself.
Look at that screen.
This is the dashboard.
Wow.
And if you notice, look far to the left there, that's the rear view mirror in a monitor. And this is the right rear view mirror. And the regular rear view mirror is a LED screen,
Wow.
And so, and you can have this whole entire panel across the entire car, all is screens, and you can rearrange it any way you want it to be.
Wow.
I was, so.
Well,
and then
that makes a Tesla look like outdated already.
Really, and I have to tell you, I looked a lot for drone stuff. That's what I was there for. And I never saw much of this here at all. The Autel I saw, of course. DroneMill, I never heard of them. Marine Drone Tech, I did not hear of them or see them. And then this was at the Venetian, which
Right.
I didn't get over to the Venetian there.
Well, that's why.
Yeah. And then Skydio, of course. you know,
Yeah.
and they were in a hospitality suite. They didn't not really have a booth kind of thing.
Now, Bob, when you were talking to
Oh.
Max,
Yeah.
did Max sort of say that he was disappointed with lack of drones at CES
Yes.
this
The
year?
lack of competitors.
Yeah.
He really made a point at that at the end of the interview. He really made this is what I'm upset about. They're we should have 20 drone companies here. It's that this now I understand that DJI was stopped
And
from being
I'm glad
there.
you brought that up, Bob. We got a story from Drone XL just the other day that they were banned from CES this year. Maybe banned is too strong a word. Maybe not allowed this year. Based on the all this them being on all those entity lists.
Do you think that's for real, or do you think that's just a story? I mean, I just struggle with the CES people not wanting a premier electronics provider at the Consumer Electronics store.
I agree.
But I don't know.
I don't. Did you see Huawei there? Did you see ZTE?
Huawei was there. I read
Huawei was at CES this year.
I read an article that said
Not this
Huawei,
year, no.
No, they weren't.
You sure?
Marcus, I think I read the same
100.
article that Huawei was there. I thought I read that too.
The article I saw said
Really?
they were
Huawei
there.
was at CES?
Okay,
then
based
no, I
on
don't
one
make any
article I
sense
read,
then.
Lon, I don't have any,
How could they
any
be?
verification.
I don't know that that Huawei was there. I don't know, Ron, if you got, this is like 2 minutes. And this is the Sony booth, the Air Peak. If you want, I'll go ahead and run it here.
Roll, Bob. It's drone related, so let's roll it.
On this drone, and operate all the camera functions from the radio controller itself.
So, turn that around. I'll show people the controller. This is the Air Peak controller, and this is a box full of batteries.
This is brand new. We're showing it at the show this year for the first time. This is called Battery Station. It will simultaneously carry 10 batteries. It will charge 4 at a time. Once it's done with the first 4, it will go to the next 4, charge those. And then the 2 extra batteries are there to swap out with charging batteries and to replenish the battery in the drone.
And the drone only has 1 battery in it?
It has 2 batteries.
It has 2 batteries,
right.
Okay. All right. And so what's the flight time?
So with the new batteries, we're going to have an extended flight time of about 30%. What that means is in a small
4 minutes
camera and body that we have on the drone here, you've got about 15 minutes of flight time.
Ugh.
So the new batteries, that would increase to about 30%. So you're getting close to 20 minutes of flight
20
time.
minutes. Close to 20 minutes, yes.
Camera and the full lens.
Yeah.
Now you can also carry a much heavier.
They didn't let me touch that one.
An Alpha 1 and an Alpha 1 with full size lens. Not the biggest lens we make, but a robust lens in the large size. It'll fly 15 minutes, 18 minutes with the large payload.
Gotcha.
But like most drones, you can configure this drone to do many different things.
Sure.
So if you wanted to adapt on your own payload, that would be LiDAR, or in the case of lifeguards, you may want to put a flotation device on one. We have a customer doing that. And
send it out to rescue somebody.
Send it out to rescue somebody, yeah.
An Air Peak?
Someone swimming way out, or bringing a Coast Guard in to help.
Yeah.
So it's a quick way of doing that.
Good, but cinema is a market that I'm sure you're going for here, right?
Yeah, we created the tool for cinema and photography.
Okay.
The idea that you can fly 150 different Sony lens combinations and be.
Now that was it. I was there, but
a good interview. That's definitely definitely quite the setup there.
Yeah, amazing. But so anyway, That was really, I tell you, I had, a good day. And I mean, and I have to tell you, I mean, I made no arrangements with Autel. I made no plan. I tried to get a media pass, and I was assured I would have no problem. And then I never did get a media pass. So I just had my exhibitor or my attendee pass. So, and to be able to walk up to the Autel booth and tell them that, I have a drone group on Facebook that has over 10,000 members, they were like immediately impressed. And so one girl told another girl, and this other girl came back and says, "Can you wait for a couple minutes? We're going to have somebody here to talk to you." And I said, "Sure, no problem," and then Maxwell Lee shows up, and
now, Bob, you had no idea who he was at that point.
Not a clue. I didn't know if that was a PR guy or a marketing guy, or I had no idea who the hell he was. And there was
Bob. It's a good thing you didn't tell him. You were standing right by me when we dunked the Nano in the ocean at the.
If I knew who he was, I would have told him about the Nano going down at South Florida. I would have done that for sure.
Might have sent you one.
Yeah.
Well, Max is a super nice guy, by the way.
But
Max
yes, he is very nice. I want to show you. I don't know if you can see.
He's personally nice.
They gave me this.
Was there a drone?
They gave me a big pack here of all kinds of wonderful stuff. Shirts, hat, coffee cup, notebooks, pens, USBs, drives, all kinds of things. He
did you check real carefully? There's not a Max inside there.
No. No, but anyway, so I requested to be his friend on Facebook, and he hasn't responded yet. So we'll see what happens.
He probably has 5,000 requests ahead of you.
Well, here's the thing that Bob understands from living in Vegas. It's all about the juice, isn't it, Bob?
It's always the juice.
Use the juice to get
it's always the juice,
Now, it's funny.
You got juice.
Ken did a little video from the Autel booth too. To check it out on his channel, and he doesn't actually appear in it. He's just interviewing. Is it McBride? Do I have the name right?
Yeah, John McBride.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, long hair.
Long hair, beard, yeah.
Well,
Jesus.
When Ken's filming this video, you could see Aldrin walking around a whole bunch of times in the background.
Yeah. It was the spot where all the drone guys hung out, for sure.
Yeah, the only good spot for the
and especially guys. At the end of every day of CES at 4:00, they gave away a Nano Plus. Oh. And so there was a couple thousand people crowding around that booth because you had to be there. You had to be present to win.
Yeah, they did that in 2021 as well.
Yeah.
They gave away, gosh, I think 2 or 3 of them a day. It was.
Yeah. Now,
Bob,
you get rid of them somehow.
Where they put the RYYB sensor in the Autel Max, did you?
No, I didn't. No,
I would love to have asked those questions. That's why I wish I'd have gone just to ask that very question. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, why they did it? To be different, to differentiate themselves in the market. That's why they did it.
It was a new the RYYG. It's a new technology. The RYYB. 2 yellows instead of a green.
Well, look, you've actually done the work on this. It's not that new of a technology. You said it was in somebody's cell phone.
4
or 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It was initially developed in a partnership between Leica, Sony, and Huawei. And it first appeared on a Huawei phone. And it's cool technology. The problem with it is that whenever you change something, then you make new problems. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? There's new things to deal with, and it's hard to explain. But the color, I don't like the colors, and I know a lot of people do though. And No offense.
But I know what
That's
you're getting at,
subjective.
Lon. For instance, if you shoot RAW with the Nano Plus and you take it in the Lightroom, which is kind of the de facto way to do photos, so the pictures look real weird because there's not a color profile in Lightroom for it. So you throw it in the Lightroom and you really can't do anything with it,
Right.
because they never bother to create, you know, the color profile for Adobe to put in there.
Yeah, and so the purpose of it is, well, the advantage of it obviously is low light, and it does work.
Right.
Low light,
Right.
it's fantastic. Yeah, and if that's what you want to do. But Lon, I think you explained to me that they've only made one size sensor for it. So to ever think that it's going to be a micro 4/3 or something like that, it doesn't
It's a cell phone sensor.
Yeah, it's a cell
It's a
phone
cell
sensor.
phone sensor. Yeah.
Right.
And it's really crazy because my question has always been, if it's so awesome, why don't you put it in across the board?
Well, let me give you another
You know what I mean?
another example. So I have both the Nano Plus and I have the Light Plus. The Nano Plus, the camera, it looks good. It produces a nice, high quality video and pictures. And like you talking about the color profile, I like the color profile. But I threw that Light Plus up there, which is the RGB sensor. Yeah, RGB sensor.
Yeah, the regular sensor.
The regular sensor. Wow, to me, it looks way better than the Nano. I mean,
and from a bigger 1-inch sensor camera too.
It's a 1-inch sensor, and I'll tell you, Lon,
variable aperture.
That Light Plus, it's so good. I don't know if I put my Mavic 3 and it side by side, I'm not sure I'd be able to tell the difference. It's that
really.
Good.
You think so?
Yeah. Oh, it looks really good. Yeah.
I don't know. You can't get the 3D pop from a 1-inch sensor. I don't care who makes it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
you know, 1-inch versus 4/3.
Yeah, and of course I'm just looking at it on my computer monitor, and I'm just telling you though, when I,
Yeah.
It looks good. Air 2S.
But there's other color models out there too. I know for a while in the print industry, hexachrome was the big thing. Instead of cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, they would add green and orange to that, and that was called hexachrome, and they could expand the color space because of it. But it was such a minimal difference. It was, you really had to be
more trouble than it was worth.
Tell the difference, Yeah.
Hey, so Lon, I don't want your point to get lost. Lon, you mentioned the Air 2S, and it's kind of the same thing. That is a fantastic camera on that drone.
Right.
Yeah.
That looks, man. I mean, for the average consumer, it's getting to the point where the differences are so fractional that, man.
Right.
Almost all the cameras
Air 2S is missing variable.
are good to some degree now.
Right.
The variable
aperture.
Right.
Variable aperture is what you're missing on the Air 2S. That's when the Air 3 is going to come in.
Right.
Yeah, you get a variable ND filter, a Polar Pro variable ND filter on there, and that's how I do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to throw one more thing in there, but already. Oh, Bob, were you on Bill Thompson's show last week? Were you on Drone Therapy last week?
Yeah, I think so.
What, were you there when he had rumors of the new Hubsan drone, and it supposedly has a
4/3
an APC sensor. The one it's bigger than a 4/3 sensor, but it's not as big as a crop
APC.
sensor.
APC, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
APS-C or something like that.
APS-C, yeah, APS-C. I have a camera. I have a Sony A6000. It's an APS-C.
Yeah.
So they talk about putting that on a drone. That size sensor in a drone.
That's still smaller than the Inspire 3. Inspire 3 has 35 millimeter.
Full frame, yeah.
Full
and the
frame,
Sony AirPeak would be full frame with the right camera body.
Is that it?
Right?
Is that it,
Right.
Marcus?
Got it right here.
Yeah, Marcus has the ASPC sensor right there. Don't drop that valuable drone.
Yeah, this is a valuable one.
Keep your hands on there.
Yeah.
The Hubsan Super Duper.
$299 in 2017.
For
That was
4K
my
30.
first baby. Well, third, but ooh,
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that.
3-axis gimbal.
3-axis
1,000
gimbal,
meters.
baby. Yeah.
fly
She still
1,000
flies.
meters. Yeah.
But anyhow, that was kind of interesting when Bill brought that up about that new Hupsa drone. It's not on their website. It's not an official product or anything. It's just a rumor at this point. But Marcus, while you got old drones out, I want you to kind of cover this a little bit. Now, the Mini 2 over the holidays got a firmware update. And I did a little update video on it. And I no sooner got my video posted, Marcus calls me and says, the Mini 2 got another firmware update. And Marcus has already been out in the field and tested it. What do you think is going on with 2 firmware updates for the Mini 2 almost in the same week? And we're talking a drone that's over 2 years old at this point.
So there's a point to be made here. It wasn't just the Mini 2. It was also the RCN1 controller as well as the app. And they all had the same liner notes. And I'm trying to remember exactly what it said, but it was, improved flight experience or something really vague like that, right? So you don't know really what it did. However, I test flew the little drone, and everything worked. And I looking through the app, I didn't see any differences in the app. So clearly it was some kind of a bug fix. And
Marcus, the word you worked with for all of them said optimized user experience.
Optimized user experience.
Some wording, yeah.
Can I ask a question here? Why won't they make the Mini 2 work with the RC controller?
The DJI
RC.
It's a different transmission system.
03, right?
Well, if they both work with the N1, RCN1, they both work with the RCN1. Why couldn't the Mini 2 work with the DJI RC?
Well, they could have made the DJI RC work with both if they wanted to, but they didn't. Right. It's not about the drone; it's about the controller.
I think they could sell a gajillion of those controllers.
Maybe.
I think one point when we talked about these firmware updates for the Mini 2, the Mini 2 is not getting any new features. It's only bug fixes. I don't think the Mini 2 is ever going to get anything new added to it anymore, including this compatibility with the the controller like Bob one. And I don't know if that's so much of an engineering thing that is from the marketing department.
I don't think the RC is
the marketing department probably figures we're going to sell less Mini 3s if we make the Mini 2 compatible with the RC controller. Just an opinion.
Maybe. I hear that a lot, but DJI doesn't care if you put money in the right pocket or the left pocket. You know what I mean?
That's exactly right.
Yeah. All money. Like Apple, they'll cannibalize
money, baby.
Theirs for a new product. Yeah.
Yes.
This is all money. They don't care. I think it's got something to do with the controller itself. There's always limitations. You know what I mean? And but it's possible they could probably make it do it. But is the demand high enough to where,
Well, if I had a Mini 2 from 2 years ago, and then I could spend $300 and get this controller with a screen in it, I would do it in a minute.
And the Mini 2 is probably a product that's kind of near end of life. I don't mean end of life that they're not going to support anymore, but it's probably end of life that they're going to manufacture it much longer.
Well, I kind of agree with Lon. I mean, I think as long as they're making money on it, they'll build it. So I don't know. I mean, listen, I have no knowledge. I mean, maybe they are trying to push people to the Mini 3. However, that's such a popular product.
Yeah. And we never know sales. They could be selling, the Mini 2 could be the best selling drone right now, whatever. We don't know. Or it could be declining. We have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you, we've got clues though, Ron, because of the success of the video that you put out on that firmware update.
Yeah.
You got a lot of views on that, and the reason is there's a big market for that drone.
Yeah, the current. But you know what? If the Mini 2 was still like this fantastic seller, you wouldn't see it discounted.
Right.
Yeah.
And well, here's the thing I'm going to say about the video. There's a lot of people that own it that watch that video.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of people that are interested in buying it. There's a bunch of people that already own it that watch that video.
Well, because many Mini 2 owners did not upgrade to the Mini 3.
You go into any big box store, Costco, Sam's Club, or whatever, and they have a discounted Mini 2 package that you can buy. So there's a lot of new people that are still buying that product.
Yeah.
2 batteries and a little case, and
it's going to get a second life because people that want to skirt remote ID.
That's the other thing. I was going to say that
are either holding on to that drone for dear life or trying to get one.
Right.
Hey,
They
but
might
you know
sell it
what?
for longer for that.
Why didn't they ever push the Mini SE like they did the Mini 2?
It was never for this market to begin with.
Yeah.
They only sold it in this market because there was a demand.
We
Once
got
the
it
demand trickled
accidentally.
out,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got it kind of accidentally, didn't we, Lon?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was never for this market. It was never intended for this market. They
intended more for
but
the
they,
Asian
there was
market,
such a
right?
demand, so they started selling it.
Yeah, more for the Asian market, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, let's see. We got some news here. This is real news this time. DJI is set to release a gimbal tomorrow, the RS3 Mini, and they released a teaser last week, so this is real. This is they leaked it themselves. It's coming tomorrow. Will probably be on the website at 9 a.m. when you get up and drink your morning coffee. I don't have any idea of the pricing. The big version of this is quite pricey, so I wouldn't expect this to be too cheap. And this will be for like smaller digital cameras, not like big full frames or whatever, or smaller full frame, smaller type cameras, which there's many of them out there.
Sure.
So
they're trying to compete with Feiyun. Feiyun has that gimbal that's good for like an APS-C camera or a 1-inch, like a ZV-1 style, Sony ZV-1 1-inch, with replaceable lens style cameras. You know what I mean? So it's probably going to be about $300 if I was guessing.
Marcus is charging batteries over there, doing firmware updates on
Yeah,
this.
I'm gonna.
Hey, listen. This is kind of interesting. This is Deals Drones on Twitter released this overnight last night. He laid out a possible roadmap for the DJI product releases for 2023, and he said this is just guesswork, so that we're not presenting this as factual. He even said it's guesswork, but it's interesting. So for January, he has the RS3 Mini gimbal, which we just discussed, which will be out tomorrow. In February, he has the goggles SE and the RC motion controller 2, which have already been leaked on the FCC database. So we know they're real products. He has them on the docket for February. There's a lot of interest out there in those products, especially for FPV people, they love their goggles and that I didn't really know there was a need for a motion controller 2. I thought the motion controller 1 has been a pretty big hit with the little DJI Avata, but I guess the motion 2's got something else up the sleeve. There are rumors that these products will be the first products that'll, like this goggles and motion control, that'll be compatible with camera drones such as the Mini 3 and the Mavic 3 series. Now, again, that's all rumor. There's no factual information saying any of that's true. So, and okay, here we go for March. The Inspire 3 with a Z9 camera, which I guess is going to be the full frame camera that they're rumored about. So people were waiting for the Inspire 3 last year, so it came out a little late. But if it comes out with a full frame camera, that's really gonna make a big bang, right, Lon?
Oh man, are you kidding me? With the X9, the X9 camera is phenomenal. So yeah, it's gonna be. It's got to get everything else upgraded from that Inspire 2. You know what I mean? Better optical avoidance, maybe longer flight time. He's going to have better range right out of the box. It's not even in question. This is going to be 03 Plus or 03 Enterprise. So it's automatically going to have better. It's going to use the RSC Plus. So it's going to have a 7-inch screen controller. It's going to be able to use 2 controllers. It's going to be, yeah.
And Inspire 3 is like a 5-year-old drone, so there's a lot of room for upgrades here, right?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be like night and day. There's still guys using Inspire 2 to do production work. With X7 cameras on them or whatever. So
shooting TV shows and things like that.
Yeah, they're just got their money waiting.
Yeah. You have any just a guess on what do you think the starting price on something like this would be?
Who, me?
Yeah.
$30K probably.
Okay, that's just the drone alone, or that's what the
no, a package that you can go out and do something with. I bet it'd be $30,000.
Okay,
that's a guess.
Right.
It's hard to say anymore.
Right. Wow. So, anyhow, that'll be it's gonna make a lot of people happy. Like you said, a lot of people just waiting to throw their money out there. Okay, now in April we have a product that people have been asking about this show almost the whole year of 2022. The DJI Pocket 3. Scott and Do, are you out there? Scott and Do asks every time I see him any information on the Pocket 3. Now we've heard one in sensor on this Pocket 3. We've heard also that one in sensor is going to make it much larger. That won't be such a pocket camera anymore. But we don't have any real information. Just some rumors out there. Anybody on the panel have anything on the Pocket 3?
I'm kind of interested in it, but yeah, no, I mean, I don't know any facts.
Anybody have a need for a much bigger Pocket 3 camera with a 1-inch sensor?
I still own the Femi Palm, the first Femi Palm, and I never use it anymore.
I'll tell you where I would use it. I would use it not for probably as it was really intended, but I would put it on a tripod and use it when I'm narrating my videos, mainly because hopefully it would have better heat resistance than some of the action cameras. Ron, I know you told me your Pocket 2.
Yeah, the Pocket 2 doesn't have any overheating issues.
Right.
I mean, maybe if I took it out in the desert or something like that, but in normal use,
I've taken it in the desert. You
there
know,
you go. Bob's the ultimate heat test.
Yeah.
You know, so no, I think
Now,
you know,
Bob, do you a Pocket 2 creator kit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have the whole Pocket 2.
Do you have any need for an improved Pocket 2? Well, my Pocket 2 does everything I need to do. I don't really, have a need for it to do more. But what about you?
Well, I just shot like a corporate video, for a organization, and did the whole thing on the Pocket 2, and it was for it's called the Nevada SPCA here, the dog shelter, and I did interviews with volunteers. I did pans of the dog kennels and the cats and the guinea pigs and all the other stuff they got there, and the CEO and the director talking to the audience. It was for a fundraising dinner thing. And then we played that projected on a, in a large convention room. And
how did it turn out?
Excellent. Just excellent. I got nothing but praises about it.
I mean, if you have enough light, the Pocket 2 looks fabulous if you have enough light.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you just mentioned, Bob, you talked about panning with it. So that's what you cannot do with an action camera. An action camera with electronic image stabilization, as soon as you try and pan, it's always trying to catch up.
Especially at higher frame rates.
Yeah.
Chop, 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 chop.
Yeah. And that's the advantage of having a 3-axis gimbal like you have on that Pocket.
Right.
Yeah. I hope they copy. This is what is this thing? The Moza. The cool thing I liked about this one, that has a little screen that flips out.
Oh, there you go.
I like that way better than fiddling around with a phone, because I'm a smart controller guy and everything else. So I would rather have an included screen. So if they copy this idea, I would be pretty happy about it.
How's the quality on that one, Lon?
Huh?
How's the video quality on that?
Oh,
you've never. Oh.
Yeah, I've tried. I've messed around with it once or twice.
How bright is the screen outside? Can you see that screen outside?
I don't know. Let me turn it on once, just for shits and giggles.
When I did that corporate shoot, I used my Triple Tech tablet with Mimo.
Oh wow!
Running on the Triple Tech.
Wow.
So that I could make sure I was in frame and everything else.
Well, my guess, you'll still be able to use another screen. I would like to have the opportunity not to use, you know what I mean? Yeah. You can always use another screen.
I have a monitor bigger than this little postage stamp here.
Yeah, that's rough.
Looks pretty good, Lon.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much was that, Lon? How much was it? That's perfect.
I don't know. I got it for free.
Oh. Yeah. And what's
how much would you guess it would be if you had to pay for it?
Yeah, Moza.
Mozza.
And Moza makes some nice gimbals.
Okay.
I think they're like $200 or something like that. I think this is like
I'm gonna look it up here real quick while we're talking.
Huh.
I think it's I think it's Pocket 1 quality in my guess, or maybe it might be close to Pocket 2. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the reason I mention is because it's it's way bigger than way bigger, but it's bigger than a Pocket 2.
Yeah.
$300.
That real estate for the screen.
I'm seeing 250.
Right.
229. Yeah, 247.55 at B&H.
Okay, so almost 250. Yeah.
It's just pretty cheap, but I don't think it's better than the DJI Pocket. I doubt it.
Yeah.
Adorama has one for $99.95.
How important is it, Bob, to keep the size basically like it is now?
Well, it's really convenient. It fits in my pocket, in my hoodie. And fits perfectly in a hoodie pocket, and I can get it out and turn it on really fast. And I don't know. It's my go-to video camera now.
Yeah.
And I have a Canon Professional X10, from a few years ago, and I don't take that thing out of the box anymore. This
guys,
is better.
Adorama has that camera that Lon has on sale for $99.95. It says you save $179.05.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Well, now it's
I wouldn't get it. You know why I don't like it? I just remembered. See that?
No quarter
nothing.
screw.
That's what you see. Nothing.
No
There's
quarter.
no quarter 20. There's no way to mount it on a tripod. There's no, there's no features.
Gosh,
there's
why
nothing.
wouldn't they? Yeah, why wouldn't they put a quarter 20 on that?
You had nothing.
Really, that's
Nothing.
strange.
Yeah.
I just got the Scotty Make stuff. I got the fourth axle thing for this.
Yeah, how's it work?
The handle. It's in the package right over here. I haven't opened it up yet.
You can
and
walk
then
around
I got
not see the bouncing. Yeah.
I got the Cinesticks. The Scotty Make stuff had a sale, and so I got the Cinesticks for the DJI RC. And I tried them and I didn't like them.
Oh.
Recovery Drone answered a question we asked a long time ago. The M32 does 200x zoom.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
I couldn't remember.
Recovery. Okay, hey, let's move on real quickly to the May release. This is the one probably most of the DroneNation fans are waiting for. The Air 3. Drop the hat here. The Air 3. A lot of people have been asking about the Air 3. Who in the show would buy an Air 3?
Depends on what it brings to the table. But yeah, probably.
I buy sight unseen.
There's kind of a no slot in the pricing structure.
How does that Air 3 fit
for an Air 3 to fit in there?
Classic and the Mavic 3 Pro, Mini 3 Pro. Where does it fit?
In the same place the Air 2S fits.
Yeah.
It would be like $100 more max.
Yeah, $100 more.
Like $1,100 maximum.
Yeah,
I could do that.
Yep.
And what do we think that the Air 3? How will be upgraded over the Air 2S? Hopefully better
variable
battery.
aperture. Variable aperture.
Variable aperture and battery, right? Battery.
Biggest battery, yeah. Bigger battery. That's the big one.
Get to that 1 hour batteries,
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me add to that though.
Better OA too.
When I'm traveling and I'd like to hear what everybody else thinks too, but often I grab the Air 2S because of the compact size, right? 1-inch sensor, unbelievable video quality. You have much better performance than you do with a mini drone. And often when I'm traveling, I don't need, I can get 20 minutes out of a battery. It's all I need. And I've got the Fly More kit. I've got 3 batteries. So it's, it works really well. In fact, Bob, that's what I was going to bring to Vegas had I come. The only drone I was going to bring was the Air 2S.
Air 2S, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I've got 5 batteries, and I rarely go out and use 5 batteries. But,
Right.
Mark, do you remember what I brought to Spin Up last time we went? The only drone I brought was the Air 2S.
Yeah, it's the same. The bag is the same size as the mini drone.
The mini, yep.
It's easy to carry, and you get a ton of performance. I flew that thing out over the Columbia River one time when there were gale force winds, and that drone just cut through it like nothing.
Yeah, I flew down Waikiki Beach with gust at 24 without a problem.
Yeah, that's
without a problem.
It's quite a product.
Yep.
Yeah. I doubt that it'll have side obstacle avoidance. I think they're going to stick with their fisheye They're going to bring the fisheye optical avoidance to the Air 3 from the Mavic 3.
Yeah,
that's my guess. So it's going to improve the optical avoidance. I don't think they're going to have as good of optical avoidance as the Mavic 3, but I think it's going to be improved over the Air 2S.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
how much an airline with that battery though? That battery life's going to be at least 40 minutes.
Yep, I'm thinking 40 minutes. I think internal storage. You know, I got a list.
Oh, yeah, that's
It's going to have
idea.
internal storage. It's going to have, you know, improved battery, variable aperture. It's going to have the new color profiles.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to look a lot closer to, like, let's say the Mavic 3 or the Mini 3 Pro.
Yeah.
It might have vertical video.
You could probably get a
vertical
64
video, of course.
You get a 64 gigabyte in that thing without too much trouble, you know, to build it in. And
that would be nice.
That would be plenty to shoot and then download. And
one point that you just made me think of something, Lon, when we were talking about obstacle avoidance, and Ron and I were discussing this the other day. You know, people saying, okay, the Mini 3 Pro has the same obstacle avoidance as the Air 2S. No, it doesn't. The Air 2S looks out in
the up ones.
Yeah, and looks up, and it has.
So it won't. If you're flying under something, it won't go up and land in the say the.
It allows you to fly faster with obstacle avoidance, is what the top ones allow.
And it looks out wider too. So like if you've got the drone tracking, it will actually kind of look at a little. It'll track you at a little bit of an angle, so that it can still look out that sensor and look for obstacles. It's a pretty cool piece of. It's a 2-year-old drone that's still pretty hot technology.
Right.
And it's got 5K already.
Right.
Yep. 5K. They might come down. They might actually go down in resolution to 5.1 like the Mavic 3.
That could be.
And maybe have bigger pixels then, you know, or something. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, and then June we have another enterprise drone, the M350T, and with the Dock SE coming out too. I guess that docks for some of the enterprise drones.
They say Dock SE.
He said Dock SE. I don't know what he means by
SE. They're probably copying. It's probably a small platform dock, like the Skydio small platform dock.
Right.
Where it's not a dock; it's like a platform. So you can set in your warehouse, let's say.
Yeah.
Set somewhere. And then it just takes off from there and it comes back to it and it charges the drone.
Charges inside.
I doubt it's an enclosed. I doubt it's an enclosed dock.
Yeah.
Unless they throw away the autonomy and just have it be a big case that the drone flies back into. But it's kind of gay. So
and again, this is he's saying this is guesswork on his part. This isn't based on any anything he's seen. So, and then of course here's an interesting one for July. You guys sitting down, the Mavic 3S.
They just keep bringing that back, don't they?
Yeah, what is that about?
It's like herpes.
Well, I guess that would be a better version of the Mavic 3. Yes, are better.
Stop it.
You're infected for life.
Yeah. And plus, do we really need a Mavic 3S? What do we need more on our Mavic 3?
I don't know. I don't know why they keep bringing it back. The Mavic 4 will be out probably next year or the year after.
Oh no, I hope not.
Well, they took a long time between 2 and 3.
They did take a long time.
3 years, right?
Well, it all depends. I mean, like unless they can come out with a drone
22
better than Mavic 3, why do you put a Mavic 4 out until you can until the drone's really significantly better? Why? Well, if you're going to put an incremental upgrade out, I guess you would call it like a 3S or something.
I guess, but I don't understand what there's stuff they could do. Okay, duh, right?
Yeah,
there's stuff they could do.
You can always fix little things, but what can you make? How can you make it?
They can make the 4/3 optical zoom.
Yeah,
they could put optical zoom on the 4/3.
Yeah, true.
Like a 3 times optical. Or something like that, like a Mavic 2 zoom, but with a 4/3 sensor.
Anyhow, I'm looking more forward to the Air 3 than the Mavic 3S.
Yeah.
So if any of this is true, and then the final thing on the list was we skip all the way to October now for the OM7 gimbal. Excitement there, huh?
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
You didn't mention the OM7. I'm coming to meet you, honey.
The last few gimbals, who could tell the difference, right?
It's so incremental. It's like just
I mean,
that's a dead zone in my opinion.
But they've definitely perfected the phone gimbal. Their small compact phone gimbals are just the best. Along with the what the Osmo mobile app or whatever, they've really perfected that technology. Bob, you have an OM gimbal from DJI.
What's that? No,
you don't. You don't have a gimbal from DJI for your phone.
No.
You're all pocket
I have the
too, right?
Zeischen or something like that. I have one of those, but I rarely use it since I got the
pocket
pocket here, and
I mean, the advantage of using the phone is what you kind of talked about before. Lon did, with a phone on the gimbal, now you have a screen where you can compose on. It's not like a tacked on thing, like you got it tacked onto the pocket or whatever. It's sort of. So that's the advantage of using your phone on the gimbal. And plus, like the Pocket 2, you have to get a whole nother Pocket 3 to upgrade. With if you have a gimbal, all you gotta do to upgrade is get the new phone with a better camera. So if you get a new phone every year, you get a better camera in your gimbal every year.
Yep,
that's a good point.
So anyhow, and the ninth story was about the Dale's drone speculating the Inspire 3 could have a full frame camera with the Z9, and we kind of covered all that too. So I mean, if his list holds up, and if half his list is true, it's going to be interesting 2023 from DJI.
They're going to get more of my money.
Yeah. Not as interesting as this year, though, if you want my opinion. This was like 2016 all over again. Yeah, 2016 was a big year for DJI as well. And this year topped it, in my opinion. They came out with something in every category, if I'm not mistaken.
We had the Mini 3, the Mini 3 Pro, the Avata, Classic.
Mavic 3 Classic.
And we're forgetting stuff like the DJI mic was a revolutionary device.
The mic.
Freaking love that thing.
The Action 3 had some problems, but
Action 3
it definitely was a product that many people were interested in. Shame it had that some people had the focusing issue, but hopefully they get that worked out in the kind of the second.
I think they fixed it, didn't they? I thought they fixed that already.
Well, I
haven't heard anything else.
I don't know her name, but I watch this. She's a big action channel, Susie. I forget Susie's channel name, but she got the Action 3 first. She had the focus problem. She sent it back. But then around Christmas time, she bought another one, hopefully, second manufactured generation, and she hoped to be better, and it was better, but it still didn't look as good as like the GoPro or whatever focusing. It still seemed to
I don't think it's as good as the GoPro from the get-go.
Only somebody looking for these issues would see. You know what I mean? The average person looking at a video on their phone would never see the focusing issues that she pointed out in the video, but you could see if you're looking at a larger screen.
Yeah.
So, and the funny thing is, the Pocket 2 had no focusing issues.
When it first came out, it did, didn't it?
Like you know what? Maybe, but almost everything has a little trouble when it comes out. But after the first big firmware update, I don't think it had any focusing issues.
Maybe
the Pocket 2, the overheating was the big thing.
Oh, you mean the Action 2?
Action 2 was overheating. The big thing was the overheating out of the box.
And I'll tell you, they fixed that to the point where you can. I've overheated mine before, but it's got to be out in the direct sunlight, and it takes 40 minutes for it to shut down. And if it's sitting on the tripod with in direct sunlight, it'll shut down after a period of time. But for the most part, they got that pretty much cured.
They all do.
Hello.
The solution to that is exactly what Bob says.
I think I'm losing internet here.
Oh yeah, he's freezing up.
What was the solution, Lon, that Bob said?
No, I think the pocket cameras are the solution to that. If you're a guy that wants to park it on a tripod and just sit it somewhere and talk to it, I still think the pocket's the best option. It does the face tracking and the and it has a wireless mic that came with it. I mean, come on, man. Right. I don't know how anything could be better for vlogging. Wireless mic.
I attach it to the handle
Yep.
So you don't lose it. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely just an awesome solution for that. in my
I
opinion.
found I got a regular microphone stand, like you would use on stage, kind of microphone stand with the big metal base, a weight on the bottom, and I
carry
take
that
that
around
out
with
in
you?
the middle of the desert, and I can figure out a way to set that thing down and it's stable, and I use that instead of a tripod, kind of thing. It really is like a solidness there, way out.
Get you one of these, Bob.
Huh?
Here, I said, Bob, you should get you one of these. It's a monopod.
Oh,
what's
yeah.
good about monopods, especially these kind, is that they double as a walking stick. So
Yes.
It's got a pommel.
Yeah.
And then it's got the foot. And this extends out. Jesus, it's tall as hell. It's like 5 foot tall, I bet you.
Can it stand up by itself then? I see. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Tripod at the bottom. Yeah.
Yep.
I looked at this, but I decided on this microphone stand because it's got this big piece of metal on the bottom. I mean, the standard generic microphone stand, kind of thing. And boy, I mean, it is solid when you put that thing down. It's there,
right?
So
anyway, this sounds like a pain tripods to move around with. Yeah.
I buy $30 tripods, and I have a few of them, and they work great. In fact, I keep one in my car all the time. I always got a tripod in the car, and they work great. Yeah, Ron. I think Ron's telling me that he's down for the count. So, so yeah, we're okay. So anyway, I think we've beat all of our subjects to death tonight. What do you guys think? Hey, he's back.
Let's go, Ron.
I lost internet there for a second. I must have forgot to pay the bill.
Uh-oh.
No, you got some margarita salt on your lip, Ron.
Did you bring me back a bottle of margarita? Did you bring me back some margaritas from
cool
Mexico?
Story, bro.
Oh no, I drank them all.
I'm just glad you made it back from Mexico, buddy.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we were about to go down there and do a rescue. What the old song is: "Bring money, guns, and lawyers if you want." Hey, Bob, there's another old '70s reference.
Yes.
The Warren Zevon song.
Yes. Eagles, I think, wasn't it?
Warren Zevon, who was like a friend of the Eagles.
Warren Zevon, yes.
Remember Werewolves of London?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Werewolves of London.
Just calm down, DeMarco, you little.
Wikipedia is Warren Zevon later on.
Yes.
He was real cool in the '70s.
You know what I'm going to say about DeMarco though? DeMarco has an old soul.
That goes for something.
Is that what you call it?
Yes.
Hey, Ron, I was just wrapping it up. Did we cover everything?
I think we covered everything on the agenda tonight.
You came back.
Hey, and I see why I was going. Barry Markowitz showed up, and he likes
Barry.
Lon's 360 collapsible poles.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, this is awesome. I'm just being honest with you. It's just great the way it works.
Yeah.
But
I've been thinking
it's
about
easy to move around
myself.
with. You know what I mean?
I've been thinking about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some protection.
Oh yeah, and you know what though? This is solid aluminum. This pommel is.
Okay.
And it even has a compass in it, Bob. So if you get lost, you got a little compass there, buddy.
Oh yeah. Pretty cool.
Compass,
I like a
you have this. You seen this?
Is that the extending handle?
This is a handle, and it does this, and this is a 10,000 milliamp battery.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. USB-C on one side, USB-A on the other.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Leonard.
Oh wow, it's about mileage.
He's just been using a lot.
DeMarco, did you get the latest update in the football game? 59-7.
Yes, yeah, I saw it. 59-7. Yes.
Shut up.
Lambo drives a Zambo wants to know about Lon's stick. Might be getting a little personal, but
yeah.
This is the
kind?
Mofo or Moto or what is it? The Me Photo. Me Photo.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
make a lot.
30
They make a
bucks.
lot of tripods.
Me Photo.
Yep.
Me Photo. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Can I get it to? There you go.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah, they're a good company.
Like I said, Ron, you came in just in time because I was just about to shut her down.
Well,
Shut her down.
We've gone on more than an hour and a half here, so it's about time to let these guests go. We can't afford to have these guys on the show much longer, especially Bob. He's got so many followers over there at the Old Farts Facebook group. We can't afford him much longer.
You can always afford me.
Now, it's really been a pleasure to have you on again, Bob, and all the insights you brought to us from the floor of CES and Lon. Always great to have you on the show. We need to get you out of the chat more often and get you on the big screen more this year. That's one of our New Year's. That's one of our New Year's resolutions for this year.
To have me on more?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, seriously.
If we can afford you.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you one thing. I want to say this bag I got from Autel.
Yes.
I don't own an Autel drone. I'm going to keep the coffee cup. That's here. But everything else I'm giving away at the South Florida Drone Meetup.
Oh, wow. Great.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, Bob, if you can recover that drone from the bottom of the ocean, then you will. You can maybe.
Then you'll have one.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Listen, Bob. I'll tell you that if you can recover that one that's sitting on the bottom of the ocean there, I'll give you the controller that goes with it.
Free of charge.
I'm gonna call James Cameron.
Yeah.
See if he'll get out there.
Hey, seriously, all kidding aside, it is always so much fun to have guests like Bob and Lon on the show. The technical knowledge that you guys have that you bring to the table really makes it a fun show. No, I'm not. I'm just.
No
it's
kidding.
a fact. It's a fact, and it makes it a pleasure.
Yep.
So
thank you. I really enjoy doing this. I really do.
Well, I appreciate being on with you guys. You make me feel young, so
yeah,
I appreciate that.
Good. That's our mission.
Make me feel better.
That's our
mission
there,
don't worry, Bob will make you an honorary old fart someday.
You could be an old fart, no problem. No problem. It's an attitude. It's not a age.
Yeah.
Age is just a number. That's what I keep telling that 17-year-old down the hall. Age is just a number.
Yeah, it just doesn't work. Yeah.
No, it's not working.
Yeah,
mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter.
That's exactly right.
That is spoken like a true Las Vegan.
You know where that
I think Bob didn't you leave it out of the secret vault? You're actually from the Chicago area or something?
Oh yeah, originally yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that quote came from Jack Benny. Nobody, not too many of us would know who Jack Benny is.
He was only 39 years old, Bob.
Where you from, Bob? We're at Chicago.
Well, northwest suburbs. I went to high school in Arlington Heights. We lived in Rolling Meadows. Then I moved to Carbondale, to Macomb.
Yeah.
I've been all over Illinois.
I grew up in the western suburbs. Went to Glenbard West High School.
Ah, okay. I went to St. Viator's in Arlington. Yeah.
So Bob was like here, and I was just south of Bob.
Yeah.
Speaking of Chicago, DeMarco, I heard that the Bears acquired the first pick in the draft this weekend.
Oh, I bet.
Bears are moving to Arlington Heights too.
Yeah,
really?
They're moving. Well,
what about Soldier Field?
They bought Arlington Park Racetrack.
Oh no, not supposedly. They did buy the track.
They did buy the track. Yes.
Yeah.
And they're building a new stadium where the horse race track used to be.
Well, if they spend all this money, they better get a good number one draft pick and start winning again, right? You think they'll
take a get shot at the old stadium? Get shot at.
No. It was never like that. Getting down there is the hard part. It's the pain in the butt because parking's limited, and you have to take I take that back. There is no train that goes. You have to walk.
You have to take a bus or
something and walk. And the Bears didn't get any of the parking too.
No.
So
Bears.
Yeah, it's a horrible mess, and it's if on a cold day that wind comes off the lake right into Soldiers Field. I mean, it's horrible.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Well, things are looking up in Chicago then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't look any other direction.
Okay, we're losing people, but the more we talk about football, the more people are clicking off here.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
Good night, everybody.
We'll be back next Monday, and hopefully we got some news next Monday. Good night, everyone, and get out there and fly safe.
Thank you all.
Beep, 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 beep. Hit the end button, Rob.
This show dedicated to Benny Hill. Good night.